Hello, everybody. What's going on? How are you all doing? If you can hear me, just put yes in the chat. Y'all, I just had an amazing session with Roberto, and I'll be talking to you guys about him more because he has an event coming up in December that I will be speaking at, and so I'll be sending you all details about that. And if you're in my mastermind, I got something special for you. And so I want to talk about your impact that you make in the world, right? Like, are you being bold with the impact that you make in the world? And so if you all don't know who I am, my name is Audria Richmond. I'm a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. I'm the girl you come to when you want to be the obvious choice in your industry. All right. So why am I having this conversation today? I believe that a lot of people, I believe that the work that we do, we're not really showing what we do. And me and him, we was having this really deep conversation. And one of the things that stood out, there was a lot of things that stood out, but the thing that's like lingering on, right, is that I don't really think people really know the impact that we have and the things that we do. What am I talking about? Well, how many of you all know that you do more than the thing that you call yourself? So for me, I call myself, I position myself as a marketing and launch strategist. However, that's not the only thing that I do, right? And I think oftentimes your title can actually pigeonhole you. So what are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, tell me more about what you're talking about. And before I do that, give me 1 second because my text message list gonna be like, bro, you never tell us when you went live. Let me do that. Speaking of which, if you all want to be on our text message list, you can head over to itswinningseason.com, all right, and join our text mobile club. So give me 1 second with this. All right. Let's see. 1 second. And I probably should have did this prior to this, but I was just so excited about this conversation and I wanted to go ahead and have it. All right, cool. And sending out text messages is expensive. So that's another reason you want to be on the text message club. It's expensive, but I'll be letting y'all know I'm live. So I'm about to let everybody know I'm live here. And then we're going to call it a day. All right. Cool. Sent that out. Perfect. All right. So that's going out. So you got the notifications on YouTube. Perfect. That's another thing. Y'all can just turn on the notifications. Y'all already know it's going to be fire. Y'all already know it's going to be fire. Y'all know I don't do no BS. So yeah. Every time I join your live, it's always exactly what I need to hear. Divine timing is so real. Absolutely. Because, if I'm thinking of this, I know y'all thinking about this, right? So the thought that I was having was like, sometimes like what you call yourself is very limiting, right? And so I call myself a marketing and launch strategist. And this is what I run into. And this is one of the reasons why, even though I'm not a fan of niching, but I understand why we should niche. And I always tell you all, like, you don't have to niche yourself. You can niche your marketing campaigns. But one of the things that I really want to kind of talk about here is like how our titles sometimes can limit our impact. And what I mean by that is sometimes what you call yourself, right? What you call yourself could make people put you in a box, right? So let me explain what that is. So everybody know I'm the marketing lady. And a lot of the times when people think about me, they think about marketing. Oh, if I need help with my marketing, I'm going to contact Audria. If I'm about to launch, I'm going to contact Audria. You all know that I have a publishing program. So if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to contact Audria if I ever need to publish something. But most people would never put me in the business category. And the reason that most people wouldn't put me as a business coach is because I really don't market myself as a business coach. And so because I market myself as a marketing and launch strategist, no one would ever see me as a viable source for helping them with their business, even though that's essentially what I do. I just happen to highlight that I do marketing. I just highlight the publishing aspect. And I really highlight marketing more than I highlight the publishing, more than I highlight the business, right? So I have people in our mastermind that we work with, and the people in our mastermind that we coach and consult, I'm doing business advising, coaching, and consulting with them. And so because I'm doing that with them, they're already in the thing, right? But when they talk about me, some of them call me their business coach and some of them call me their marketing coach. And I'm more than that. How many of you all know you're more than that? You do more than that. You have a bigger impact than that. But for some reason, your title and what you call yourself is actually limiting you, right? So have you all ever like filled out a form, and like when you're filling out the form, you have to select something? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something where you have to select, like, okay, so for an example, how many of you all like needed to fill out a form for your business and then ask you like what industry you're in? And they say, hey, what industry you're in? You're in the business, you're in education, you're into this, you're into that. And you kind of have to pick what industry or whatever you're in. How many of you all know that you're probably in like 10 or 15 of those things? Even though you may have, like, I have my core thing of what I talk about and what I do is marketing. However, I'm in the publishing industry, I'm in the tech industry, I'm in the business industry, I'm in the education industry. Like, I'm in a lot of those industries. And so it's very hard to even complete a form when you're multi-passionate or you have multiple skills, which moves me to the next thing, right? And I know I'm about to step on some folks' toes, and honestly, I don't give a goddamn. Y'all already know how I get down. But I'm not a fan of niching for all the reasons that I'm talking about now. I do believe that when people discover you, they kind of need to know what you do and like how to work with you. But I am not about, oh, you got to pigeonhole yourself to this. Because for instance, when we do marketing campaigns, our marketing campaigns are niched, but I'm not going to niche myself, right? So if I'm like, hey, I'm doing a free marketing workshop, that's cool. But I can also do a live streaming workshop. I can also do a publishing workshop. And I'm really good at all of those things, because you hear people say stupid shit like, and this is why I feel like this doctrine and what people say around this is not true anymore. You hear people say stuff like, what they call it, if you, when they talk about the jack of all trades, master of some or something, basically it's like, you can't be the master of many things. The shit's so stupid, I can't even remember it. Like, that's what people truly believe, that you cannot be multi-passionate. They also believe that you can't have multiple skills. They also believe that you cannot master multiple things. And let me also say this. If that's something that you decided to do with your life, thumbs up for you. If you decided that I don't want to be a jack of all trades, I want to just master making water, right? If that's what you want to do, toodaloo to you, okay? If that's what you want to do, toodaloo to you, okay? But I'm sick of this doctrine because it limits creative people, right? I'm pretty good at everything that I tell you that I can do. I'm really good with technology. I'm really good with publishing. I'm really good with marketing. I'm really good with offer development. Believe it or not, I'm really good with SOPs. I'm really good with tech. So like, if I'm really good with all of these things, right? If I'm really good at all of these things, I feel like, why I gotta just promote one? Why I gotta just tell you one thing? Now I understand the reasoning. As a marketer, you can't have a marketing message like this. You can't say, you can't have what do you call it? You can't have a marketing message that's like, oh, I sell socks, Fruit Loops, coaching, I'm, church services. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you was to say it, right, people be like, you don't know what you're talking about, so let me get out of here. And I get it. Some people feel like if you have all of these skills, you're not really good at them. But there are a great deal of people who are multi-passionate, multi-skilled, like they have multiple skills and they're really good at it, right? One of the people that popped up in my mind was like Lizzo. Another person that popped up in my mind was Jamie Foxx. I started thinking about people who have multiple skills and are really good at it. Like for instance, Jamie Foxx, for an example. He's a really great actor, super hilarious comedian. He's also amazing singer. Like the list goes on and 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 on. And so, but he makes money from all of it. He makes money from being an actor. He makes money from being a comedian. He makes money from his music. Shall I go on? Right? And so the reason that I wanted to do this live stream is because I want you to know, regardless of how many skills you have, you matter. Yes, you do need to have structure around your marketing, and you need to have structure around how you talk about your products and services. That's not what I'm saying. All right. But I do believe that if you are multi-passionate, if you do have multiple skills, you should have the beauty of you should have the beauty of being able to have the flexibility to talk about what you do, right? In multiple different capacities, right? So the reason I wanted to have this conversation with you is because last night I was telling people about my mastermind, and I was telling them about, what it costs, how to sign up. And we was kind of going through the spiel. We was talking about the mastermind. And I realized that I had to say over and over and over and over and over again, like, this is not a marketing mastermind. This is not a marketing mastermind. This is a business mastermind. This is a business mastermind. And I realized that I personally haven't done a good job of showing the full impact of my work. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I've spent so much time talking about the marketing. Yes, I'm going to help you with your marketing. I'm going to help you launch. I'm going to help you this. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you do this. That I'm not talking about the fact that I help my client negotiate something with her contract. I'm not talking about, I help my client set up her automations and her systems. I'm not talking about the fact that, like, I help my client rethink through her offer. I'm not talking about the fact that I help my clients research. That's business stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with marketing. I help my clients make tech decisions. And I'm not saying that I had to, like, go on this spree of all the things that I do, but a lot of the times y'all never know the magic show that's happening behind the scenes. And for that reason, you may not ever see me as a valuable solution. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because, like, if people don't know what you can do, they're not going to hire you, right? It's kind of like, have you ever bought something from somebody and then they see you buy something from somebody else and they say some shit like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Have y'all ever experienced that? Just put yes or no, right? For instance, I help my clients with their photo shoots and think through and mood board and things like that. But I'm also a former professional photographer. Or if my clients come to me and they got janky websites, I also have website development experience. But I'm not leading with that, right? I'm not saying I'm a graphic designer, I'm a photographer, I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm not leading with those things. But if I don't let you know that I have that skill, again, you don't see me as a viable source. And whenever you don't spend the time to share with your client all the skills that you have, or even your potential clients, all the skill you have, that's when you start seeing your client be in multiple programs. That's when you start seeing your clients sign up for stuff that they really didn't need to sign up for. Because we can also do it internally with our existing clients, not just future clients, people who are thinking about doing business with you, but people who are your existing clients. Sometimes your existing clients don't even know what you do. And so it got me to thinking like, hey, man, I really need to share my capabilities with people who want to do business with me. Yes, I'm going to focus on helping you do this thing, but just so you know, I have experience with this. I have experience with publishing. I have experience with technology. I have experience as a professional photographer. Because a lot of the times people are not going to go back and watch, 10, 15 videos where you told a story here, a story there, a story here, a story there. There has to be a way to collapse all the things you know how to do. So when somebody is trying to decide if they want to be a part of your thing or somebody else's thing, they can see you as a viable source of being able to be that person for them, right? Because I've had clients be a part of my programs and join somebody else's program. I'm like, why are you joining that person's program? I help you with that. Oh, I didn't know, right? I'll give you an example. I'm really good at structuring programs, like programming, structuring how things need to be laid out and stuff like that, and how to set up a portal and like how to create curriculum around group coaching programs. But then if I don't if my client don't know that I can do that, they're going to easily go seek somebody else out to help them do that. Like, oh, I didn't know you actually did that. Or if somebody go and join a program I'm just trying to think of something random. Like, do y'all get what I'm saying? Is this even making sense to y'all? Because like, if it's not, then maybe I'm just probably having a moment for no reason. But it was like, it dawned on me that like, sometimes niching is not as great when you need to let people know the full scope of what you can do. When people need to see the full scope of how you get down. Does that make sense? So hopefully this is giving y'all some insight on this, because I'm tired of people thinking that I can't help them, and then I watch them go and get burned, right? Oh, that's a great thing. She said this would be a great channel trailer. I just feel like, how many of y'all are tired of being overlooked by way whacker people? Does that make sense? Like, I'm tired of being overlooked. And it's because I ain't making enough noise. And it's because I'm not showing people everything they need to see so they can know that I'm the one, right? And even me as a marketer, I need to show people I'm the one. If you thinking about something else, why? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why. Because I'm convinced at this point that I need to go get a Bentley. I need to be drenched out in designer. And that's the only way y'all gonna pay attention. Because clearly, the way I'm showing up may not be sexy enough. It may not be attractive enough. I don't know what it is. But it's time to let folks know what you can do. Are y'all feeling me? Like, I feel like there's a rally cry coming up, like, we're about to go get them. We gotta go let them know what we do. I feel like this like a Rocky moment or some shit. Like, I don't know, but like, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, let folks know. I feel like I need to do, like, you know what I'm saying, 30 days of Audria, like every day I tell you and show you a new skill that I got that you think I had, right? Because let me say this, man. Let me say this. It's so many people, and this is the thing, right? Because you can get caught up in, let me say this. Don't waste no time on people who don't see you. And I know it's for me more than it is for you, but I'm saying it out loud because I know I'm not the only person that need to hear that or need to hear me say that. Do not waste time on people who don't see you. but show people what you can do. It's a big difference there. There's a big difference there. What I'm saying is, it's people that need to know what you're capable of, but I'm not saying you need to prove to people who don't see you that you are the choice, that you should be the one that they work with. Does that make sense? I'm talking about amplifying to those who see your value, know your value, and actually want to work with you. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So I know for a fact I'm cold as hell. Let me say this. I was presenting the mastermind last night, and what it costs, and like how to get started. And how many of you all have been disgusted with your own pricing? You know, do y'all see my face? I'm talking about disgusted. Disgusted. Because like, look. This one of the reasons when people ask me to come and speak, if it's certain things ain't in place, I ain't coming, because I know me. I know me. I'm going to print the flyers. Okay? I'm coming with books. I'm going to do photo ops. I'm going to talk to your people. I'm going to actually have a fucking presentation that they can remember and take notes on. You get what I'm saying? So like, when I know me. I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to show up. So when you come to me with your weak ass speaker budget and you like, hey, will you do this, and this? It's a hell no for me, dog. Because I know me. Now, I know other people don't show up. I know other people don't prepare. I know other people don't have slides and note-taking material. I know other people ain't bringing books. I know other people ain't sticking around to stay at the conference. I know other people are not sitting around and taking pictures with your attendees. So with that being said, it's a hell no for me. So with that being said, going back to what I was saying, I was presenting my open house last night, and I was going over the pricing, and I thought to myself, like, what are you doing, bro? I concluded with the open house. And for those who joined, thank you. I see you. I can't wait to like serve you. But I was thinking about like, this is still like, I'm selling my soul. Like I should be charging way more. I got clients who making what I'm charging in a month. Do you get, not like, I don't know if y'all hearing me, and I'm trying not to get emotional because it's so hard for people not to see you when price is involved. Ooh, do y'all get what I'm saying? It's so hard for people to see the value you can bring to their life if price is involved. If they're thinking about pricing, if they're thinking about the cost, what it cost. My God, they don't understand what happens on the other side of the decision. No, I'm not expensive when I know for a fact that you can make that in a month. Does that make sense? Think about this. If you do what I'm telling you to do, right? As you should, if you invested, and you show up for yourself, and you following the system, you following the protocol, I know you're going to make some money. So really, it's not an expense. It's an investment. And so, let me say this. It's so hard to I was talking to Roberto about this as well. It's so hard for people to see the value in what you have because they don't see the value in themselves, right? And with that being said, as a coach, as a consultant, as a person who do this work, and I tell y'all time and time again, out of everything I've ever done in my entire life, this is probably by far the most life-changing thing I've ever done in my life. Whenever you take on the mantle of helping other people improve their life or improve their situation or elevate or evolve, is a very emotional work. And if you're a good coach, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a good consultant, you know what I'm talking about. when you are leaning in to try to help people see themselves, it is the hardest work you will ever do, right? Because I remember when I worked with certain people, it took me years to see the version that people see. And it's a version of me that you all see that I haven't even got to yet. And I'm quite sure it will come from my coaching, the coaches I'm investing in. I'm quite sure I will get that value. It's going to come from people that I have yet to meet. It's going to come from my existing friends and peers. It's going to come. But it's a version of me that I haven't evolved to. Can I keep it 100 with y'all? Because I think it's very fitting for what I'm saying right now. So you remember I made the announcement for UnCloned Live, right? Y'all remember that, right? Hey, UnCloned Live is happening July 2023, right? It's happening. It's going down. It's going down in the A. I made an announcement and all of that, right? We have over 500 people on the wait list. That's like, sis, drop the tickets. Drop the tickets. I'm in there. I already blocked it out. I'm coming. Where's the tickets? Where's the tickets? And can I keep it 100 with y'all? I'm scared. I am terrified. I am terrified at the idea of renting out a hotel, spending over $100,000, putting together this event, and I'm not afraid. Oh God. I'm not afraid about if you all would come. Because you all been telling me, hey, you need to do your event. You need to do your event. I'm in there. When you going to do an event? When you going to do an event? I'm in there. When you going to do an event? Right? I'm not afraid about that. Like that's not the fear. You know what the fear is? The fear is, because I already know y'all about tickets. I'm not thinking about that. The thing that I'm most concerned about, and this is probably gonna blow y'all mind, because it's probably not nothing y'all even thinking about. Okay? It's probably nothing y'all not even thinking about. Last year, I was a part of a program where I was in a program with a lot of boss women, and everybody was talking about hiring. I'm hiring. I just had a team. I just hired. Ooh, look at my team. Everybody taking team photos. Look at my team. And at the time when I joined this program, it was just me and my executive assistant and my husband. I didn't have any more team members other than that. And I believe we was about to hire our graphic designer, right? And I got all hyped up in this community, and I made a pure-led decision to hire, right? Because that's what they say. You want to go to the next level, you got to hire. And so I got, super excited and involved in that. And then I hired some people, and then it didn't go as planned, right? It was actually the opposite. And I thought to myself that I had invested, I bought a VIP day to learn how to properly hire, and I had did all of these things, right? I did all the things. I did all the right things. I followed all the steps. And after I had did that, I had concluded with the fact that this was a pure-led decision. You did that because you got hyped up, right? And I try not to live in regrets, but I do live in the fact that I allowed the environment I was in to make me think that I wouldn't be good enough if I didn't have a team. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Everything was running like a smooth old machine over here. Like, we don't have a major operations over here. Like, our business is not like, over the top where we need to have hundreds of thousands of people, right? Like, we have a very well-oiled machine as it relates to our organization and operations. But here I was in a program feeling like I wasn't good enough unless I had a team. I was feeling like I wasn't going to be respected enough if I didn't have a team. Hell, I even thought that I wasn't even going to get clients if I didn't have a team. Everybody else that's a coach, they got teams. They got hella teams. They got infrastructure. They got coaches. And guess what, Audria? You don't have a team. You don't have coaches. You don't have shit. So, you know what I mean? That's what I felt like. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go and I'm going to hire the coaches, because if I hire the coaches, then people respect me. And if people respect me, they'll work with me, right? And it was a pure-led decision. So Made the decision. We obviously have done a good job since then with hiring, but I'm taking you back to where I was in like that, right? And I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any fear and regret around that, right? And so I sat in that decision and I read a book called Traction. And Traction helped me to realize a lot of things that I had that needed to be in place, right? And so I went to the conference this May. Was it in May? No, it was January, February, March. I forgot when it was, but we went to the conference in Traction, right? This Traction conference. And when we went to the conference, I went back to the hotel and I mapped out everything. I rewrote our entire vision. I rewrote our core values. I made an org chart, even though I didn't have all the people at the time. I made an org chart of all the people that I felt like we needed, not somebody. These were like, I'm not going to hire these people because I feel like I need to have these positions. I'm hiring the people who would help us accelerate our current business model, right? And so I made a list of all the things, right? Then after that, shortly after that, we ended up hiring, and like it just took off from there. Like we got better at the hiring piece, right? And so that fear went away, right? So this the other thing. I said, okay, that's check. I now know how to hire. I'm not making peer-led decisions. We actually have infrastructure and capacity, and I really understand how to do this, right? Then events come around. Everybody's doing the big events. All my friends are doing big events, big events, big events, big events. Me personally, as you all know, if you've been a part of my community long enough, we've always done virtual conferences. And there was a reason for me doing virtual conferences. One, I know in-person events are expensive. I don't give a shit what nobody tell you. It costs money. You got to, rent the hotel. You got to pay all the vendors. You got to do the decor. It's a whole thing, right? You got to pay speakers if you're going to have speakers. Some of your friends may or may not volunteer, but for the most part, there's a lot of moving parts to an event. An event is like, it could be a business. That's how many moving parts it is. And so I never wanted to take on that level of responsibility until I was ready. So I would do virtual conferences. So we did our first virtual conference in 2018. It was called UnCloned Con. Crazy results. Talking about best thing ever. And I'm like, okay, I did my virtual conference. Then I turned around and did another conference in 2020 when I released my book. Okay, we did UnCloned Con again. Okay, it's the second time we did it. We did UnCloned again. So we did it in 2018. Then we turned around and did it in 2020. And then this time we had over 3,000 people to register for this conference. Then I said, okay, well, your conference was free. Was it really a conference? Your conference was virtual. Was it really a conference? And I started to get caught up in my head around, was it real? Was it not a real? Was it an event? Was it not an event? Everybody that came loved it, enjoyed it, had a good time, but you weren't on a stage. You weren't in a hotel. You weren't in, you didn't have all of these things. So was it really an event? Do y'all get where I'm going with this? Because I'm being 100 with y'all. The same conversation I'm having with you is the same conversation I would have with my husband or my friend. Okay? I'm being 1,000 with you right now. So I started to kind of think through like, okay, I started to like be like, okay. Then I said, well, you got to do a real conference. You got to do an in-person conference. If you're going to do a conference, like it got to be in person. You got to have, chairs, tables. You got to have all the things, right? And I said, okay, well, I'm going to do this conference. And the reason I haven't released tickets, because I went on and hired an event planner. And the reason I haven't like announced like who my event planner is and, where's the hotel is going to be and all of that is because I'm trying to make sure that when we do the UnCloned Live 2023, that I'm not making a pure led decision. Thank you for that. She said your virtual conference was 100 times better than most events that I've been to. It was awesome. Thank you. If you all participated in UnCloned Con, y'all know that shit was fire. Like it was good. I feel like it's some of my best work. But um one of the things that I was thinking about, right, was like, I want to make sure that I'm not making a peer led decision. Am I doing this event because this is the next thing that's in my trajectory of what I should be doing? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the thing that's going to give me more credibility than what I have right now? Or am I doing this because my friends are doing it? Am I doing it because does this make sense what I'm saying? So that's why you all haven't seen a ticket link yet. That's why you haven't seen an event website yet. That's why you haven't seen any of that, is because I'm trying to make sure that I'm not making clone decisions. I'm trying to make sure that I am making decisions that is fueled by Audria and not my peers, not the programs I'm in, not the people that I respect. I'm literally thinking through to make sure that the decision I make is an Audria decision first. Then everything else will grow around it. So I'm taking my time with this, right? I'm taking my time with this. And I don't know, maybe this is helpful for some of you all, right? Maybe this is helpful for some of you all. I've done that before. I've made peer-led decisions before. I've made decisions that I thought will be the thing that I'm supposed to do, right? Because that's how the industry rolls. But if I'm truly going to live this whole uncloned life, right? And if I'm going to have an uncloned business, and if I'm going to do business on my own terms with my own individuality that's not influenced by anything or anyone, I want to take my time with my decision. So I said all that to say that it's important to slow down. And maybe you need to start asking yourself, am I making peer-led decisions? Or am I making personal decisions based on what I feel like I should be doing? Because this is another thing that nobody talks about. This is another thing that nobody else talks about. When you decide to do these things, right? When you decide to do these things, nobody talks about the responsibility that comes with the decision. For every decision that you make, there is responsibility attached to that, right? If you say, I'm going to be a coach, it's your responsibility to coach the shit out your clients. If you say that I'm going to be a consultant, it is your responsibility to be a good consultant. If you say that I'm going to be a graphic designer, it is your job to be a badass graphic designer. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? There's responsibility in the decision. It's responsibility in the thing you say you want to do. And you need to be very, 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 very sure that you have the capacity, the mindset, and the resources to take on the decision and and take on the responsibility with that decision. So when I go sign the event contract or the hotel contract, I'm in that thing. Ain't no more backing out, right? I got to do it because I made the decision that that's what I'm going to do. But before I put my name on that contract, I want to make sure that I'm making an Audria decision and not a peer-led decision. So with that being said, y'all, hopefully that helped y'all. Hopefully this was good. Hopefully this gave you insight. And I just wanted to take you into my thought process, my world a little bit. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And hopefully that humanizes me so y'all don't think I'm out here just invincible. Yes, I've done a lot of dope projects. I've done a lot of great things. But every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new thing that you have to grow into. And this is one thing that I want to make sure that I'm certain of, because I don't, and I was talking to Roberto about this. And he told me that, Audria, make sure, and he gave me another insight that I hadn't considered. He said, I want to make sure that you're not making your decisions from previous failures. And I said, damn, that's good. Damn, that's good. He said, because you have failed and prevailed so many times that you're probably thinking about, will this fail? And you're thinking about all the ways this could fail. And you're thinking about all the all the things that could go wrong with that, right? And when he said that, I said, you probably right, bro. Like, you're right. Like, I think I'm dealing with, like, I have taken plenty L's in my day. Like all of us, right? We all have taken some type of L, right? And as a result of taking the L's, right? As a result of taking the L's, you do start to be a little bit more scared, a little bit more scared, a little bit more calculated, a little bit less risky, right? Because you know what failure felt like, right? If you know falling on the ground, it hurts. You're going to try your best to stay stable and not fall on the ground because you know what that feels like. I don't know what it's going to be like to lose, first off, I don't know what it's going to be like if nobody buy tickets, and I don't know what it's going to be like if everybody buy tickets. I don't know until I do it. But I have to have the courage to do it. I have to be okay with doing it, right? And so I hope this helps somebody, because it helped me just talking about it. It helped me talking about it, talking through it with you all. I really do hope you all got value from this. And yeah. So do we have any questions? If so, you can put your question in the chat, or you can use the Q&A box on Instagram, and I'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Excuse me. I do feel like I did see a question. The question is, can you speak about making decisions in the wrong season? Well, let's speak to that. Sometimes you're going to have to make decisions trusting for a positive outcome. Sometimes you don't know if it's the right or wrong season. Let me give you an example. So when I decided that I wanted to change my life, that was a good question. I'm about to help somebody with this one. That was an amazing question. You would think I was in the wrong decision when I made my first investment. Oh God. That question just, I want to slow down because I want to process what you said. And I'm going to reread the question just so everybody can follow along. Can you speak about making decisions in the wrong season? Can I honestly say that every time I've made a life-changing decision was always in what I would have classified as the wrong season? I'm going to say it again. Do y'all know that every time my life changed was what I would have classified as the wrong season? Okay? Every time I had a life-changing event, I would have classified the season in which I made the decision was the wrong season. Let me explain. When I made the first investment for the program that pretty much got me here, not got me here, but like basically started me on this journey, right? When I made that decision, me and my husband was barely making ends meet. Okay? We did not have furniture in our home. We had an apartment, but we did not have furniture. It was a lot of things that would have said, now ain't the time. Okay? Now ain't the time. I promise you, every time you're about to even now, oh my God, even now, there's so many things that's telling me not to do this event. What's going on with this? And this is what's going on with events, and this is what's happening, and this how much this costs, and inflation is this, and it's a recession. Will people buy a ticket? Will people buy a flight? Like, I got every reason not to do this event, which would be considered the wrong season to make this decision. So this season, right? I have to make a decision on whether or not I'm gonna do the event in July. This could be classified as the wrong season, right? Just like back then when I was broke as a joke, it was the wrong season to invest in a program. Everything about what was going on in our life was saying, girl, you can't do this. Now ain't the time. Wrong season. Let me say this. What if I told you there isn't no golden season? There is no golden time. I wish I knew where I could just go on the calendar and be like, all right, y'all, in Q1, month 2, this is the perfect time to make a decision. You never know. Because one thing, we're not psychics. We're not God, right? We're not psychics. We're not God. So with that being true, you have to trust that whatever decision you make and whatever outcome that comes from that you can live with it, right? You can live with it. If I decide that I'm going to do this event and I'm going to pay for I'm going to put the deposit down and I'm going to start hiring people, I have to trust and believe that that decision that I made was a good one, regardless of the outcome. And so I think it's more about you trusting your decision than, I think it's more about you trusting your decision than it is about whether it was right or wrong. It's more about the trust of the positive outcome of the decision than it is about, okay, it's not going to go great. Was that helpful? Hopefully that was helpful. And that was an amazing freaking question, by the way. The next question we have here is, when you do all the things, what is a way to strategically share them without confusing people? That I am still working on. And when I get the answer, y'all be the first one to know about. When I get the answer, you be the first one to know about it, okay? My wrong seasons are what got me where I am. I'm grateful. Absolutely. Let's see. The next question we have here is, I want to attract high-value clients with my graphic design work. How do I do it? Well, first, you have to become for some reason, every time I hear high value, I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying in general. Every time I hear high value, I always think about that dude, what is it, Samuel Person. I don't know. But if you're saying how do you attract high-ticket clients, I'll say that because that sounds like what you're trying to say. If you're like, how do I attract high-ticket clients? How do I get people to pay me high-ticket, blah, blah, blah? First, you have to become a high-ticket service provider, right? Okay? Like you have to become a high-ticket service provider. And with that being said, that means that you have to show up in a way that demands high ticket. Because this is the word on the street, right? There's a lot of people who are teaching their clients, just go high ticket. Just go high ticket. I'm high ticket because my shit is worth it. Okay? It's high ticket because I got the scratches, the experience is worth it, right? Anytime your clients can make what you asking in a month or a week or even a day, it's worth it. So with that being said, when we talk about high ticket, it's all about you becoming a high ticket service provider with great, superb experience, and you actually marketing it in a way where people can be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. I will tell you a few things that you can do because I'm a former graphic designer and I've worked with other graphic designers. And I will tell you, if you can do what I'm about to tell you next, you will never ever have to think about clients paying you. Number 1, meet deadlines. Number 2, be strategic. Number 3, be an art director. Number 4, go first. Your client shouldn't have to tell you what's next. If you can do those things, I promise you will have so much clients you wouldn't know what to do with, right? The biggest issue that I see with graphic designers is communication and deadlines. That's the number 2 things. Communication and deadlines. Communication and deadlines. Communication and deadlines. If you can master that, you should be good to go. Let's see. Any other questions? That was a good question. All right. Cool beans. How do you prepare for pivots in your business? How do you prepare for pivots in your business? I just pivot. Depending on how big of the pivot it is. I don't know if it's a small pivot. Is it a big pivot? Am I like rebranding? Am I like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? It depends on the significance of the pivot. So if it's like a pivot that I need to like prepare my audience for, then I, do what I need to do with that. But if it's like a small pivot, I just pivot. All pivots don't have to be announced. Okay. All pivots don't have to be announced. Like, for an example, I'm about to pivot these prices. They about to go up. And with the mastermind. So if I'm going to increase the prices of the mastermind, I don't have to tell you that I'm going to do that. It's a courtesy that I'm telling you that I'm going to do that. That would be something like, a small pivot. But if I'm like about to change up the entire program and I'm about to change up, how we run it and how we do it and all of that, then that makes for an announcement. But every pivot doesn't have to be announced. Okay. Let's see. This is so good. Okay, cool. Hopefully that answered your question. What about uncomfortable ones? You have to tell me what type of pivot you need to make in order for me to like really answer that, because uncomfortable could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and uncomfortable is very relative. So what's uncomfortable for me may not be uncomfortable for you, and vice versa. Do you think it's feasible to have multiple platforms for different niches? Sometimes I feel like other platforms cater to certain niches better than other. You could just test it out. You would notice, like, if you look across all social media channels or all of my platforms, all I talk about is marketing, offers, marketing. You'll see a little bit of publishing, but that's pretty much what I talk and lead with. However, I'm probably gonna figure, like I said earlier, when I figure out how to tell people everything I do so they don't think that I'm just not really good at it, I'll figure out how to talk about it. But that's what I would say in relation to that question. All right. So I'm going to conclude here. If you all have applied for the mastermind in the past and you're like, hey, I applied for the mastermind, I'm thinking about joining the mastermind. We've already did the open house last night. We already sent emails out about attending the open house. So with that being said, y'all already know the scope. So if you want to join the mastermind, you already got the link and you already know what we presented. So for those who want to work with me, you can head over to audriarichmond.shop and purchase something in our shop. If you're interested in joining the mastermind, and before you text me, I want to put that out there first. Before you text me, I'm gonna give you the phone number, but don't text me if you're not serious. That's another thing. I'm tired of people wasting my time. So do not text me if you're not serious. And I'm mainly talking about the mastermind. I'm going to tell you what the starting price is, and then we go from there. That way it's no confusion. The level one, the deposit for level one is $2,500. At the time of this recording, it is going to go up to $5,000. Okay? So after Wednesday at midnight, it's going up. So that's just the deposit for level one. Just know the price goes up for level 2 and level 3. So if you're thinking about working with me in a greater capacity, where you want me to help you with your business, where you want to work with me long term, where you want to have more access to me, then the mastermind is what I highly recommend. If you're interested in joining the mastermind, just know at the very minimum, the deposit is $2,500. So if you like, I don't have that, that's not within my budget, please do not text the number. But if you like, hey, that ain't nothing for me, I'm in here, where do I sign up? Then you can send us a text message to 404-383-9080. I will also say, after Wednesday, October the, what's the day? After Wednesday, October the 26th at midnight, just know if you contact me or you watch this video afterwards, the price will definitely be different, and it'll definitely be more. So if you're interested in joining the mastermind, just know at the very least, the deposit is $2,500, and it goes up from there depending on which level you join in at. And if you're interested in joining the mastermind, send us a text message. It's 404-383-9080. The number is 404-383-9080. So if you're interested in joining us, that's the number. Hopefully we can welcome you. We just welcomed 2 new members last night. Cannot wait to serve you. And so thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream. Hopefully it blessed your soul. If you're on Instagram, you can watch the replay on I'm gonna save the replay, but it's gonna be for our Instagram subscribers. However, if you still want to watch the replay after this, you can catch the replay in our free Facebook group, my business Facebook page, and or our YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream. And until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and build what? An uncloned brand. Peace out, y'all.